Hi, my name is Natalie Van Allen, and this is my literacy and cultural autobiography. So, I grew up with a very different cultural background, not because of my difference in ethnicity or difference in languages with the students around me, but because I grew up with a very religious cultural upbringing that has definitely aided in making me who I am today for lots of different reasons. But I'm going to kind of start off by talking about how my cultural upbringing in my religion has truly made me who I am. So, whenever I was younger and I went from growing up in church with kids who are like me, we all had the same kind of upbringing, to being in school with students who were all different from me. And being the only apostolic Pentecostal in my school was definitely a very different experience from going to my only outing being church and then my outings being church and school. But I feel like because I stood up for what I believed in so much and I didn't back down just because I was different, I had a surprising sense of respect and kind of joy in my beliefs from my peers and from teachers as well. And because of this kind of sense of respect and love, even though I was different and I was seen different, because with my religion, I stand out. I mean, I only wear skirts, I don't cut my hair. I definitely stick out a lot, but I feel like because I didn't back down and because I had that sense of respect, it helped me a lot to learn to be more comfortable with who I am and confident in who I am and what I believe as well. It definitely helped me a ton along the way just to be steadfast in who I am. And I feel like this will truly help me whenever I become a teacher to reinforce students' confidence in themselves and help it will also help me to reinforce in my students why we should treat others with love and with respect, because we all come from different backgrounds, whether it's racial, whether it's ethnicity, or whether it's religion. And I feel like because I have seen this firsthand with myself, it will give me a sense of ability to reinforce that kind of confidence and reassurance in each of my students, and just to show kindness to everybody as well, because we don't want to put others down just because of how they're brought up or because of their beliefs as well. So, another cultural difference that I have had is in my school, because I was an apostolic Pentecostal and the only one in my school, I only wore skirts and I didn't cut my hair. I didn't wear jewelry or earrings or anything like that. Um, and growing up in school, no one really wears skirts and jewelry, and they all cut their hair. And I feel like, again, because I was so different, it could have brought me down, or I could have been like, oh, I want to do what they're doing. I want to fit in with them. But again, because I stood fast in who I was, it helped me to know what it's like to feel different and to feel excluded in a way, because I wasn't just like everybody else. Yes, everybody was nice. Yes, everybody showed their respect and their love in my beliefs. However, you do still feel kind of like, oh, well, I'm not a part of everything because I don't look like them. And I feel like because of what I went through as a young girl, even though I was confident in myself, I feel like this will help me with inclusion and love within my classroom. Help me to include every single person I can. So, my literacy experience when I was younger, my grandma read to me every day after school, and it really helped me to kind of enjoy it a little bit more because I did not enjoy reading at all when I was younger. But she read to me in a way that made it a bit more bearable by letting me read a page and then she would read the next page. So it wasn't so daunting, like, oh, I have to read this entire book. Like, this is going to be so boring, so hard. And at that age, it was hard for me to read. I couldn't grasp it fully. But this helps me because I plan to allow my kids to read with me in my class and to participate in that kind of way. When I was younger, my teachers they did not really read with enthusiasm, and they didn't make it like interactive or interesting. And I feel like at a young age, you kind of have to have that in order to actually like reading. And I feel like my teachers when I was younger definitely lacked that part. However, the lack of love for reading and enthusiasm, I believe, made me dislike to read at a very young age, and it kind of just continued to stay that way. But I feel like this will help me to know that I want to read and I need to read with that enthusiasm and that interactivity throughout all of our center readings or throughout all of our guided reading times, just to show them that reading is fun, even if I'm not good at it, or even if sometimes I don't like it. It will help me convey the message of how fun it can be if you just let yourself open up to that part of reading. I struggled with reading because not only was I not very good at it, but I was also just not interested in it. It wasn't interesting to me. And again, because I had teachers that weren't very enthusiastic about it, I feel like because I wasn't good at it, because it wasn't interesting, it made me dislike reading even more. But I feel like it'll help me whenever I'm reading, whenever I'm teaching, that I can relate to students as well as tell them the plus sides to reading. Tell them that, yes, I understand and I know that it can be hard, but if we take it step by step and we do it together, and if I do it enthusiastically, it can really be a lot of fun. And I want to show them how we can go beyond what we feel like we are capable of and always push my students past their everyday limit or what they think they can do. And that is actually the end of my literacy autobiography and cultural autobiography. And I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for listening.